is Virginia, and I like stripes. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today's video is going to be all about striped knits. I'm going to be sharing a review of each of the striped knits in my collection, as well as my thoughts on some striped knits that I have tried in my striped knit journey. Like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And you bet we're going to talk about this one. Now, before I kick things off, if you're new here, then I would highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button, because it means that you and I can hang out a little bit more, but it also means that you won't miss my future videos about personal style, workwear, and handbags. So let's not waste any more time and let's get started on this striped knit business. Now I'm going to start things off with an oldie but a goodie in my wardrobe, and that is my Suzanne Leontine knit. And I have this not just in the one colour, but in the two colours. I've got it in the ecru navy and in the navy ecru. As you can see, I like a bit of variety. Now, I blame this knit as the one that kick-started my striped knit obsession. I've got a fair few striped tops in my wardrobe already, but striped knits I hadn't really gotten obsessed about until about a year ago when I bought this knit. And I think it probably coincides with lockdown, wanting to feel cozy. And this knit really is one that I've really enjoyed wearing. It's from Suzanne, and so it's a quintessential French jumper. This is made of organic cotton, and it's got a Henley button neckline. The sleeves are slightly balloon, and so it adds a little bit of interest, and they come in at the cuffs. And I think this is the easiest thing to throw on to look stylish and polished, but at the same time really comfortable. And so I've relied on this a fair bit in the last year, so much so that it prompted me to get the other colour when it became available earlier this year. And I ummed and ahed about this one, which you might recall in my earlier Suzanne shopping videos, because I'm not really one to get the same item in several colours, particularly if it's an item that is so distinct like this. But I made the exception, and I justified it to myself because I've got so much wear out of the ecru one. And since having the navy one, I have rotated between these pretty much equally. If I were to choose just one out of the two, it would probably be the original ecru version, but I like having both. I think that they both have a place in my wardrobe. Size wise, I've got them both in the size extra small, and this is cut to a looser and comfier fit. But I do think that if I had sized up to the size small, then it would have been a little bit too loose around the neckline. When it comes to caring for this knit, I will just throw it in the wash. I'll put it in a special delicates bag, and I'll put the machine on a cold wash setting, reduce the spin, and I will set it to hand wash. And it comes up pretty well. I don't put it in the dryer. I don't put many things in the dryer actually, because the dryer is evil and it wrecks your clothes. But I simply lay this one flat to dry, and it just comes up pretty nice every time. So this is the first striped knit that started off my collection, and so it seemed only fitting that I start off by talking about this one. Next up, I wanted to talk about my Arket striped knit. This is another high street gem. Both the Arket knit and the Suzanne knits that I am showing you are both incredibly popular items, and so I'm sure that if you're watching this video, then it is not the first time that you have seen these. But the Arket knit is just a little bit special in my opinion. It is an excellent dupe for the Celine striped knit, and there are many other brands now that are releasing striped knit polo neck style knits, but this one has impressed me because of its quality. It's $99 US, and so roughly about 150 Australian, and it is so good. It's made of a heavyweight tightly woven knit, which is really similar to Scale and Theodore crepe knit if you're in Australia and you've got experience with their crepe knit, and so it feels really premium. It's a boxy style cut, and so because of the thick fabric, it's just designed to be worn untucked, but it looks great over skirts, over trousers, over jeans. I really love this one because it's great for work from home, and when you can really only see this top half here during video calls. It is just one of those classic pieces that I have constantly relied on in my wardrobe. I feel like the Arket knit and the Suzanne knits, even though they're both striped knits, and when I'm looking in the viewfinder now it looks very similar, but I promise you two, they are really quite different. This one is a more fluid and softer knit, whereas this one is a more structured and heavyweight knit. This one I would say is the dressier one out of the two. The Suzanne knit is one that I wear in more casual looks, and this is one that I would wear in both casual and dressy. I have this in a size extra small and it is cut to a roomy fit. The arms are a tad long, but all I do is just fold them up, which is just a petite girl problem, but I don't mind the look. I don't think that it looks odd. This one, yeah, it's a great one. And if you've watched my other videos, then you won't be a stranger to this knit because I have mentioned it several times now because it is one of my favorite things in my wardrobe right now. Go back there with your friends. Speaking of popular knits, which brings me to the next knit that I wanted to chat with you about. And this is a knit that I just received that prompted me to actually film this video in the first place. It is this beauty here, this classic knit that I'm sure a lot of you will recognize if you have social media, because every man and his dog seems to have this knit. And when I say every man and his dog, I mean every beautifully tall, leggy, drop-dead gorgeous influencer. The seed was certainly planted in my mind. It then grew into a sapling and then a full-blown tree. And so in a moment of weakness last week, I went on the Mytheresa website and I bought this knit. It took 10 days to arrive, which is a tad long, and I appreciate that sounds very entitled, but I've grown accustomed to my express 3-day shipping from Net-a-Porter. But it arrived safely and beautifully packaged in the Mytheresa packaging, and this one set me back 740 Australian dollars, which when I say that out loud and think about the others that are hanging on my rack, then this knit alone costs more than my Arket knit and 2 of my Suzanne Leontine knits combined. That's really cool. Now, I really had high hopes for this one and I was really excited before it arrived because all of my favorite influencers and bloggers and YouTubers have this knit and it looks incredible on them. But when it arrived and when I tried it on, I wasn't so excited about it. And I think that when you're spending 740 Australian dollars, then it should blow your mind. This one didn't blow my mind. My mind remained intact. Now, I got myself the size extra small in this knit, and I think I got myself the right size. I'm usually a size Australian 8 and I'm only 158 centimeters tall. And this one fit right on the body, like it was boxy, it was a nice length on me. The arms, if anything, were a tad long, but that wasn't the thing that bothered me the most. The thing that bothered me the most, which took me by surprise, is the neckline. I found the neck to be a little bit too tight, and I don't think that I have a large neck by any means, but I found that it was just a little bit too uncomfortable when I was wearing it, just for that short period of time that I was trying it on, which is enough for me to second guess whether or not to keep something like this, particularly with the investment that it would be. I'm really glad that I bought this knit and I satisfied my curiosity to try it on because it has been on my radar for a really long time and it's been on my wish list as a result of seeing it on so many people. I still think that it's a beautiful knit, don't get me wrong. I don't think that it's like an ugly thing, but I don't think that it is great enough for me to hang on to it. And as a lot of you rightly pointed out when I posted about it over on my Instagram stories, it's a knit that is just so highly replicated. It's all over the high street, similar designs like this. It might not be the same premium fabric mix, but you're still getting the same vibe. Also in the landscape of many other striped knits in my collection. It's not filling a gap in my wardrobe necessarily, which is the reason why I've decided that I will send it back. I bought it off Mytheresa where they offer free 30-day returns. I only received it about 2 days ago, and so I'm well within that returns period. And so this was a worthwhile exercise for me to do, considering how often I had been looking at it. I'm glad that, you know, I finally conclusively checked this off my list. It's not for me, but I know that it is a beautiful knit on many other people. Aww. Now the next piece that I wanted to talk you through is more of a statement striped knit, and it is this striped blazer that I have here from The Fold, which is a London-based brand. Now The Fold kindly sent this piece to me just to add to my workwear collection, and I have been wearing it a fair bit to the office because I think it strikes the perfect balance between structured, comfortable and warm. It's like a comfy cardigan disguised as a blazer, and a fun blazer at that because of the stripes, and it's made of quite a heavyweight knit. It's not as tightly woven as, say, the Arket knit. It's got a little bit of texture to it, as you can see here, but it has been a really nice addition to my workwear wardrobe. Typically wear this with a very plain outfit, because the blazer I feel makes such a statement. So navy trousers and a navy shirt, for example. But this is like the striped knit blazer that completes my striped knit collection. I've got casual slash dressy, and then dressy. And this one I have in a size small, which is a smaller size that they offer in these knits. The Fold is a label that I would recommend any day of the week, and I've been very fortunate enough to work with them over on the blog and on my Instagram now for a couple of years, and I really love their pieces. Now I've got one more striped item to share with you, and strictly speaking it's not a knit, but I thought it was worthwhile sharing because it is very similar to the other knits that I have in my collection in terms of aesthetics, and it is this Breton striped knit here from Sezane. This is the collet top, and I have featured it in other videos featuring my Sezane shopping on my channel, which I will link if you wanted to take a look. Now this is a top that I've made a lot of use out of, you know, both for work and off duty. I really love how this looks under a blazer, but I also love how it looks with jeans. I got this one in a size extra small, which is the usual size that I wear. Again, it's not overly fitted, it's a boxier type cut, but I would stick with your usual size. And so I think that if you're not a knit person and none of these are striking your fancy, then I would recommend that you go for just a classic Breton stripe top. And this one here from Sezane deserves an honorable mention because I think it's just the perfect Breton striped top. And it's one of those classic pieces that I see myself wearing for a really long time. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and thanks for coming on this striped knit journey with me. I hope you found my reviews to be helpful, particularly of the more popular styles and the more expensive styles that I've now satisfied my curiosity about and that you might have seen all over your Instagram feeds. If you like this video, then let me know by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!